Finally, we get some Pokemon news!
Pokemon! 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 Pokemon!
Hello everyone, I'm Dustin Benzel, and welcome to another Pokemon XY&Z anime discussion. Finally, we got some more Pokemon news and stuff of that nature, and I just realized I forgot something. Whoops. Oh well, I'll try to mention it, but we got a new title and some new summaries that we're going to discuss right here. The voice VA list for the Bonnie and Puny-chan episode seems to indicate that Team Flare is still involved in the episode. We just don't know in what fashion. Maybe the Pokénechi preview that we'll get probably this coming Sunday will help shed light on that. But there's really nothing interesting about the VA list or the summary other than Bonnie's trying to look for Puny-chan and they get involved in Toxicroak. Bunnelby gets hurt in the process, and of course that's pretty much it. So I'm not really sure what's going to go on in that particular episode, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. So I'm looking forward to next week. So anyway, that's that particular episode. Then we go on to the Noibat and Floette, an Encounter in the Wind episode, and we have a more detailed summary. Before there was like simple summaries and stuff, and I think I mentioned that Noibat gets in trouble with the Breloom. That I think I mentioned that that Noibat gets poisoned. Well, apparently, while taking a break in a forest, Ash and his friends are listening to the screams of the Soundwave Pokemon Noibat. However, while flying, Noibat ends up crashing into a wild Breloom. Noibat gets poisoned by the angry Breloom, but a passing Floette comes to the rescue. I'm not sure how I feel about this, because this is not how I want the Noibat focus episode to start. I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but if they're just eating and Noibat is just doing something, and then something happens and it starts screaming because it can't fly properly, and then it ends up crashing into Breloom, I'm going to be a little upset. Just a little. I'm not going to be as happy for this episode, because how I wanted this episode to start was Ash actually training it. If Noibat's just doing its off thing and we're getting focus, and because Noibat's going off doing its own thing gets in trouble, that's not going to be a very exciting reason for Noibat to get focus in the first place. If Ash was training Noibat, and that might lead to crashing into Breloom and stuff, then maybe that would make a little bit more sense, because it shows that Noibat isn't just not being used for battling purposes. I mean, after all, it is supposed to evolve at some point, whether it's this episode or some episode down the line. So you would expect a lot more battling out focus in general. Since Noibat's not going to show up in the Bonnie and Puny-chan episode, and the only Pokemon we can look forward to is maybe Greninja or Hawlucha, Noibat's not going to get any battling focus there or even doing anything. So, I mean, this will definitely be battling focus, but it would be nice if the battling focus led to more battling focus rather than just a random event leading to battling focus. But, you know, whatever. Noibat, like I said, I can't be too mad or all that unimpressed, because at least Noibat is finally getting something. So I think that's pretty much it. I don't think there's anything else to discuss. Then, of course, we go into Ash and Serena getting one at a dance party. While she's practicing for her next Pokemon Showcase or Tri-Pokelon, Serena receives an invitation to a dance party for Pokemon performers. The rule is that performers and Pokemon both pair up, one male and one female. So Serena participates together with Eevee, Clement, and Bunnelby. But then Serena's rival, Millefeuille, or Miette, shows up and suddenly brings up the topic of pairing up with Ash and participating with him. Now, this summary basically implies that, and I'm sure you probably have heard this speculation before, but this summary basically implies that Serena is choosing Clement because of Evie's little crush, or whatever you want to call it, on Bunnelby. Comfortableness, Evie is comfortable with Bunnelby, so that is why Serena is dancing with Clement, because Bunnelby and Evie. So it's not like the scene we saw of Miette dancing with Ash or Serena dancing with Clement. It's not because Serena just lucked out or anything. It's just that she had no choice but to choose Clement because of Evie's preference to be with Bunnelby and stuff. So the one thing that I'm a little disturbed here is why Ash is in the title. I know Ash and Serena are battling partners, but the one thing that I find a problem with this is that it says Ash and Serena getting one at a dance party. Now, that could mean Battle, but I don't know why Battle wasn't in there. I mean, I guess maybe to bring speculation into this. Maybe they're getting a Pokemon. Maybe they're getting an item or whatever. But it's kind of weird that we know for a fact that Serena's Eevee is going to evolve in this episode. It's just a little weird that Ash is getting one, but it doesn't seem to be anything of interest. Just the battle, I guess, and it's not like Ash is really doing all that well against Miette and her partner. So I'm not really expecting a lot, just a dance party, some Arya scenes, or Ellie, Monsieur Pierre scenes, and then just a battle with Ash and Serena versus Miette and whoever, and then of course it'll be Eevee eventually evolving and maybe turning the battle around, and that's pretty much all I expect in that particular episode. So then we move on to our new title, and this is surprising for multiple reasons. One, I personally didn't think this was going to happen quite yet, but it is The Strongest Mega Battle, Greninja versus Mega Charizard. So, the summary says, while continuing their journey, Ash and his friends reunite with enthusiastic boy Shota, or Sawyer. Ash immediately challenges him to a battle, but as they're fighting, Ash's Greninja undergoes that mysterious transformation. However, exactly what causes Greninja to change forms like this is completely unknown. Now, like I said, I didn't expect this episode to come out this early, because we still don't know what's going on with Team Flare versus Team Rocket, and the fact that this appears to be the Ash versus Sawyer versus Alon episodes in one particular episode, and who knows if there's a second parter to this or whatever, but it's kind of weird that they're shoving all of this in one episode. It's definitely going to be very action-packed and stuff, and I was expecting at the very least that we would get some sort of discussion of what's going on with Ash and Ash Greninja in general, and I'm just not sure how much they can exactly put into this. But I assume that the Ash versus Sawyer battle is not going to last very long, and then it's just going to transition to Ash versus Alon, and maybe there will be discussions between the battle of Sawyer and Alon, and after the battle or during the battle, for some sort of explanation in regards to what's going on with Ash Greninja. I'm assuming that Alon, of course, is battling Ash because he sees Ash Greninja, and Alon might think it's like a mega evolution or something of that nature, and would definitely want to test his strength against said Pokemon. So that explanation makes sense or whatever, but outside of that, I'm not really sure what else there's to discuss about this particular episode. I mean, I've already discussed this in the upcoming episodes preview from the New Year's special. I discussed a little bit of this in my Ash Greninja video. So I don't really think there's anything new. It's just that this does confirm that the scenes that we saw do confirm that Ash versus Sawyer and Ash versus Alon does indeed take place in the exact same place. So it's really nice that we're getting confirmation that way. Um, Outside of that, I'm not really sure. I expect Ash to possibly beat Sawyer with Ash Greninja, like Sawyer and Sceptile were not expecting it, and Greninja manages to knock out Sceptile, but then of course Alon gets involved, and of course Ash loses to Alon, and of course everything will happen, and maybe we'll get some sort of arc afterwards and stuff of that nature. So I guess we'll just have to see what's going on. I don't know if there's going to be like filler after this or something of that nature. By the way, this Charizard episode and Greninja episode is February 4th. So we've got Bonnie and Puny Chan coming January 14th. Then, of course, the 21st is, of course, Ash and Serena getting one at a dance party. I think 14, 20, is that right? Am I missing something? Oh, okay, so Bonnie and Puny Chan, the 14th. Noibat and Floa is the 21st. The dance party is 28th, and this episode is the 4th. I don't know what's going to happen after this. I don't know if we're going to get a filler or something like that. But by this, I'm either expecting Serena's Pokemon Showcase or Team Rocket versus Team Flare episode, assuming, of course, those particular scenes don't place in any other episode, which I'm not really sure if that would happen or not. But anyway, that's all I can really say about this. If you've seen my Twitter, you know that there was a fake title going around. It was Greninja and Hawlucha find the Lost Bergmite. It turned out it was fake, but just thought I'd mention it because at least that was exciting at first because possibly new information. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to create another video before the 14th. There was somebody in my Twitter who suggested I make a video on something. I might go ahead and do that possibly, but for right now, only expect the Bonnie and Puny Chan review episode to come up, and hopefully we'll get a decent preview for the Noibat episode, and maybe we'll get some interesting VA lists and more in-depth summaries on the 14th. So I guess that's it. There's really nothing else for me to say. So thank you for watching. I'm Dustin Benzel, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.